And then, of course, Epstein goes to jail and mysteriously hangs himself. And again, if you're listening to Another Kingdom, I think you've reached the point where you know there's an element like that in the plot as well. You know, so this has become this other thing. What happened to Jeffrey Epstein, and which of these powerful men may have had a hand of it? So now there's this forensic pathologist, right? I think he used to be the New York City medical examiner. He was the chief medical examiner for New York City, Michael Baden. And Michael Baden was hired by Jeffrey Epstein's family to watch the autopsy as the New York coroner was doing it. So he was hired to watch the autopsy. That means he has a stake in this, okay? So it doesn't mean that everything he says is necessarily true. He has acted, I think he was an actual defense witness for O.J. Simpson. You know, he is a guy who's being paid to do a thing, so I'm not saying that this is the truth, but the guy's putting his reputation on the line, and this is what he said on Fox News.
There are multiple 3 fractures in the hyoid bone, the thyroid cartilage, that are very unusual for suicide and more indicative of strangulation, homicidal strangulation.
You say that his fatal injuries are consistent with homicide?
More consistent with homicide. And in fact, at the time of the autopsy, the doctor doing the autopsy didn't think there was enough information to say suicide, so she put it pending further study. And then for some reason, and they want to know, the family wants to know, why was it changed from pending further study to homicide afterwards?
So if you're there watching them perform this autopsy, you notice these 3 broken bones, and you believe it would be homicide. So that would mean another person would have gone into his cell, strangled him. Did he have any signs of trying to fight back?
Well, they took fingernail clippings to see if there's anybody else's DNA on it, and that hasn't been released. Neither has the information about whose DNA is on the ligature.
So listen, you know, the thing is, the guy was hanged in a cell. He was supposed to be under observation. He wasn't. There were no videos. There were no videos of people going in and out. I mean, you know, they're asking us to swallow a lot, and you can't start to say, you know, what's his name? Trevor Noah had Hillary Clinton on, and he tried to make a joke of it. But the very fact that he asked her kind of made people sit up straight. Here's this clip.
Hillary, I have to ask you a question that has been plaguing me for a while. How did you kill Jeffrey Epstein? Because you're not in power, but you have all the power. I really need to understand how you do what you do. Because you seem to be behind everything nefarious, and yet you do not use it to become president. What is the game plan?
So he's making fun of this, obviously. He's patting her, he's covering up for her. And I'm not saying, obviously, that she did anything, but I'm just saying that, like, that actually isn't the joke. I mean, the joke is closer to what happened on Waters' show, Waters' World. He had a military ex-Navy SEAL who takes care of military dogs, a guy named Mike Ritland. And at the end, Ritland had this moment when he was talking about how to take care of these dogs.
The remarkable nature of these dogs and them being highlighted in the news creates a huge demand by people that frankly shouldn't have them. If you see the coverage and you decide, I want one of these dogs, either buy a finished, trained, fully trained and finished dog from a professional, or just don't get one at all. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that commentary. All right.
Water, it just goes right by him, and then he wakes up and sees it. So that's a lot funnier than Trevor Noah, because it's closer to where we are, it's closer to the reality, it's closer to what's absurd about this story. I mean, the absurdness about this, the absurdity of the story is not that Hillary Clinton, whose husband was a traveler on Epstein's jet, it's not that she's a suspect. The joke, the absurdity, is that we're all supposed to buy into this and not be suspicious, and somehow it's going to go away, and we don't want to know more about Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton and all the powerful people who hung out with this guy, and how he operated so long at such a little price, and why ABC covered it up, and why NBC covered up for Harvey Weinstein. What is the connection, and how far do these connections go? That's not crazy conspiracy thinking. That is just real life in front of us. This thing with Ritland went nuts on Twitter. It was just hilarious. The line, Epstein didn't kill himself, just started going around. A lady named Sarah Carter gave out the advice, date a girl who says, I love you, text me when you get home, look at that dog over there, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Some guy named Michael Knowles put out this thing. I have to say, Knowles was on top of his game on Twitter. On this day, 608 years ago, Khalil Sultan, the Timurid ruler of Transoxiana, died at the age of 27. Shortly thereafter, his wife committed suicide, which distinguishes her from Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself. And my hilarious son Spencer put out the entire lyric of the old Nat King Cole song, Nature Boy. Do you remember that song? There was a boy, a certain strange enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea, a little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. And finally, the Babylon Bee Bible scholars now believe that the writing on the wall actually said Epstein didn't kill himself. All the laughter is on the right, and it's on the right because it's the left that's become absurd. It's the left that's become humorless. Everything is tickety-boo, including the massive growth of the Daily Wire YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and catch all our future videos right here on YouTube.